everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of TV Talk. And this week's movie is the final installment for 2023's Enchant-mas collection. And it's a movie that I just saw this year, but I did see the sequel last year. And that movie is Christmas Comes to Canon. During the 1960s and 70s in rural Texas, a white family befriends a black boy and his grandmother and learn what the true meaning of family, love, and Christmas really is. Okay, now before I get started, I'd just like to say one thing. I could not really find any information online about this movie, so there will be no cast section for this video, unfortunately. So what I do have here is kind of what I pieced together from the movie, not from any source online. So this movie is a holiday film, and it takes place in rural Texas in 1964, and then it jumps ahead to 1971 and 1972, and I believe a few years after that as well, possibly late 70s, early 80s. And it has one sequel that I know of, which is Christmas Comes Home to Canon, and I will be doing a review on that for my next Enchant-mas installment, so that will be for Enchant-mas 2024. Okay, things I liked about this movie. There were actually a lot of things I liked about this movie. Now, as I stated earlier, this year was the very first time I saw this movie. But, that being said, it was still a good movie. And I kind of had somewhat of an idea of what was going on in the movie, because last year I had watched Christmas Comes Home to Canon. So I had a pretty good idea, because they did a good job in that video of kind of summing up, or in that movie, of kind of at the beginning of that movie, summing up what happens in this movie, so people like me who hadn't seen this movie are kind of up to date on what's going on. And slight spoiler alert, the second movie, Christmas Comes Home to Canon, kind of takes place, or Canon, or however you pronounce the town, kind of takes place immediately following the events of this movie. But we'll talk more about that when I do that movie for Movie Talk next Enchant-mas, I promise. So I really, there was really a lot I liked about this movie. First off, as far as Christmas movies go, there is, like, except for, like, the Christmas lights and everything, you don't get the feel that it's a Christmas movie, because it takes place in Texas, so there's really isn't snow. I'm not saying that they don't get snow in Texas. I'm just saying it's probably a rarity to get snow in Texas. I'm not saying it can't happen. It more than likely could happen. I'm just saying it's not, you don't think snow in Texas, basically. So really, it's like one of the few Christmas movies I watch that's not like The Little Drummer Boy or anything, that there's no snow in it. Almost every other movie I watch, Christmas movie I watch, there's snow in some way, shape, or form. So I kind of like that little change of pace. I also liked how you're kind of getting a little bit of a history lesson as you watch this movie. Because you gotta remember, this is taking place in the South, rural South, in the 1970s, 1960s, 1970s. So there's a lot of this at the time. I'm trying to think of a nice way to put this. There's a lot of animosity between the white people and the black people who lived in the area. They did not like each other, and the black people, particularly, like, I think in 72, I believe, if I'm wrong, I apologize, 70, 71, 72, they just really started in these areas to be able to get their vote where it really counted. And in some areas, like, a lot of the African American people outnumbered the white American people. And it's like they could vote and everything, but a lot of times what they wanted didn't matter at the time. And this is when they're really starting to get, I don't want to say organized, because they were organized, but they're really starting to let people know, particularly the younger generation that's coming up and getting ready to start voting, like, your voice matters and everything. And there were some people who did not like that, and we do see that in this movie. And to me, it's like, I liked that because it shows the history of what was going on during that time period and whatnot. In that, African Americans' struggle for equal rights didn't end with the Civil War. They struggled, and they continue to struggle in some places with equal rights. And this really shows that. So I did like that. I liked how it's a Christmas... also, another thing, I liked how it's a Christmas movie, but other than the title and the fact that you do see at least 2 Christmases in this movie, Christmas isn't a big thing in the movie. It's very subtle. It's in there. It's not, I'm not going to say it's not in there, but it's not the main focal point of the movie. And I love movies that are like that, where it's a specific type of movie, in this case a Christmas movie, but that type of movie is not the main focal point. It's something a little different. So I absolutely loved that. Okay, feel free to check out my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, a few things I'd like to touch on. First off, a quick reminder on my comment rules. Number 1, no mean comments. Number 2, no bad or curse words in comments. Number 3, I'm not opposed to debates, but please keep them civil. And finally, number 4, please be respectful to me and each other. Okay, please leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Also, feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those sites I mentioned up there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respective artists. I own absolutely nothing, and the links for any sites mentioned in this video will be in the description section. Okay, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that cannot be found on YouTube are on my Facebook page. Facebook friends, basically the same deal. Any of my videos that cannot be found on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. And to anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. Okay, please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.